Welcome to Dark Side of History channel, where the untold stories of the past come to life. So don't forget to subscribe and uncover the mysteries with us.
Italian cavalry practices extreme horse training. In 1906, Italian military cavalry units practiced dangerous training exercises, including vertical descent maneuvers where horses and riders descended steep slopes at extreme angles. These challenging exercises prepared military horses and riders for difficult terrain they might encounter during warfare in mountainous regions. The training methods were considered necessary for creating elite cavalry units, but were extremely dangerous for both animals and soldiers. Post-war justice and consequences. British Imperial Guard faints during ceremony. In 1970, a British Imperial Guard collapsed and fainted during an official parade, demonstrating how the demanding physical requirements of ceremonial duty could overcome even well-trained soldiers. The guards were expected to stand perfectly motionless for hours in heavy uniforms regardless of weather conditions or personal discomfort. This incident highlighted the extreme discipline and physical endurance required for prestigious ceremonial military positions. German soldiers forced to watch camp footage. In 1945, Allied forces required German soldiers and civilians to watch filmed evidence of concentration camp atrocities to confront them with the reality of Nazi war crimes. Many Germans claimed they didn't know about the Holocaust, so this forced viewing was designed to eliminate any denial of what had happened. The shocked reactions of viewers were documented to show how the German population responded to learning about these horrific events. Hitler released from prison after failed coup. In 1923, 35-year-old Adolf Hitler was released from prison after serving a relatively short sentence for his failed beer hall push attempt to overthrow the German government. His light punishment for treason allowed him to continue his political activities and eventually rise to power through legal elections rather than violent coups. This early failure taught Hitler to pursue power through the democratic system rather than violent coups. World War I soldier shows life-saving helmet. In 1918, a British soldier displayed his metal helmet that had been dented by enemy bullets or shrapnel, demonstrating how the protective gear saved his life during combat. These helmets were a new innovation in World War I that prevented many head injuries that would have been fatal in earlier wars. Soldiers often kept their damaged helmets as proof of their close encounters with death on the battlefield. Victory and defeat in World War II. Allied soldiers mock Hitler on his own balcony. In 1945, Allied soldiers posed on the balcony of Hitler's Reich Chancellery, giving mock Nazi salutes to celebrate their victory over Germany. This symbolic act of defiance took place in the same location where Hitler had addressed massive crowds during his rise to power. The soldiers' mocking gestures represented the complete defeat of Nazi ideology and the liberation of Europe from fascist control. French women punished for Nazi collaboration. In 1944, French women who had romantic relationships with German soldiers during the occupation had their heads shaved in public as punishment for collaboration with the enemy. These humiliating ceremonies took place in town squares where crowds gathered to witness the punishment of people they considered traitors to France. The head shaving was meant to mark these women as collaborators and shame them in front of their local communities. Beauty contest judges only legs with masks. During the 1930s, some beauty contests required participants to wear masks so judges could focus only on their legs rather than their faces or other features. This unusual competition format was meant to make the judging more fair by removing facial beauty and personal recognition from consideration. The contests reflected changing fashion trends that emphasized women's legs as an important aspect of physical attractiveness and style. Automatic 12-man shaving machine. In 1960, inventors created an automatic barbershop device that could shave 12 men at the same time using mechanical razors and rotating chairs. This unusual invention was designed to speed up the grooming process and reduce the need for human barbers in busy locations like military bases. The machine looked more like a torture device than a convenience and never became popular due to safety concerns and poor shaving results. Unusual people and medical conditions. Robert Huddleston performs as Pony Boy. From 1895 to 1970, Robert Huddleston performed in circuses as Pony Boy due to his bent joints that allowed him to walk on his hands and feet like a four-legged animal. His unique physical condition became the basis for a long and successful entertainment career that supported his family for many decades. His story shows how people with physical differences could turn their conditions into profitable careers in the entertainment industry. Chang and Ing Bunker Siamese twins portrait pose. Around 1865, Chang and Ing Bunker, the famous conjoined twins, were photographed together showing how they lived as connected individuals who shared one body between them. These brothers became internationally famous and successful businessmen despite their physical condition, proving that people with disabilities could lead full and productive lives. Their success helped change public attitudes toward people with unusual physical characteristics during the 19th century. Soviet women serve as deadly snipers. In 1945, female soldiers of the Soviet Union's Third Shock Army served as highly effective snipers during World War II, proving that women could be deadly combat soldiers. These brave women fought on the front lines alongside male soldiers and achieved impressive combat records against German forces throughout the war. Their military service challenged traditional ideas about women's roles in warfare and demonstrated female courage under extreme battlefield conditions. Simple, early airplane interior design. During the 1930s, commercial airplane interiors featured extremely simple designs with basic seats and minimal comfort features compared to modern aircraft standards. Passengers had to endure long flights with few amenities, and air travel was considered a luxury that only wealthy people could afford regularly. The simple design reflected the early stage of commercial aviation when safety and basic transportation were more important than passenger comfort. Military culture and morale. Young Adolf Hitler as World War I soldier. Before his rise to political power, Hitler served as an ordinary German soldier during World War I, experiencing the same hardships and dangers as millions of other young men. His military service shaped his later political views and gave him credibility with German veterans who would later support his political movement. This early military experience influenced his understanding of warfare and affected his later decisions as Germany's leader during World War II. Navy sailors hold beard-growing contest? In 1944, Navy sailors participated in beard-growing competitions that produced comical and elaborate facial hairstyles during long deployments at sea far from home. These entertaining competitions provided amusement and boosted morale during the boring months spent on ships with limited recreation opportunities. The contests became naval traditions that helped sailors bond with each other and cope with the stress and isolation of military service. Berlin lies in complete ruins after war. Photographs from 1945 show Berlin completely devastated after World War II, with entire city blocks reduced to smoking rubble and destroyed buildings. The destruction was so complete that it took many years to rebuild the German capital and restore it to a functioning city. These images became powerful reminders of the total devastation that modern warfare could inflict on civilian populations and urban areas. Nazi leader meets civil rights icon. In 1965, American Nazi Party leader George Lincoln Rockwell had an unexpected meeting with civil rights leader Martin Luther King Jr., highlighting the extreme divisions in American society. This confrontation between two men with completely opposite views on race relations showed the serious tensions that existed during the civil rights era. The meeting demonstrated how democratic societies allow even the most disagreeable viewpoints to be expressed through peaceful dialogue. Wartime human stories. American Marine helps enemy soldier at Iwo Jima. During the brutal Battle of Iwo Jima in 1945, an American Marine was photographed offering a cigarette to a Japanese soldier who had been buried alive in a burnout bunker. This act of human compassion between enemies showed that individual kindness could exist even during the most savage battles of World War II. The photo became a symbol of how soldiers could maintain their humanity despite the dehumanizing nature of modern warfare. Child plays with wild boar as pet. A 1930 photograph shows a young child playing with what appears to be a wild boar, either as an unusual pet or toy, demonstrating different attitudes toward dangerous animals. This image reflects a time when people had less scientific understanding of animal behavior and the serious risks involved in keeping wild animals around children. The photo became notable for showing how differently people approached animal safety and child protection in earlier generations. Double-decker bus undergoes extreme safety test. In 1930, engineers conducted